What's up, everybody? Laura Sanko here, and I am joined today by the great British Adam Catterall. I always feel like I have to sit up straighter in his presence.
I love the way you say my name.
It
It does make me sound very regal when you say my name, so
well,
thank you very much for that.
I think as an American, I should be saying Catterall. I actually don't know, because I've only heard you say it, so we'll go Catterall. Nice to be in the same place.
And you.
So I'm going to pick your brain about some hot topics. Let's pick
I'm gonna do
some
that.
mutual picking?
Yes, absolutely. Because I want to ask you a question about a potential super fight that is on the way, hopefully.
Okay.
And I also love getting your thoughts on those rising stars. And obviously you're very close to the Contender Series. You'll have seen a lot of fighters that I am not aware of, and our audience aren't aware of. So I want to pick your brains on that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and sprinkle in a couple of British guys that maybe you're not maybe familiar with. You probably are.
No, I'm probably not.
But
No,
maybe
definitely not.
Okay.
I'm definitely not.
But I think we should start with the big one.
The big one? The one that we both know we're talking about?
Yeah.
Jon Jones, retired.
Yeah.
What was your initial gut reaction?
Disappointment. Yeah. That was my initial thought process when I saw Dana in Baku announcing Jon Jones retiring from the sport.
In the middle of the night at a press conference.
I know. I just watched. I mean, it was great for us in the UK because we had it on UK time zone, which is a rare thing. I watched the whole event and I thought, I'm still up. I'll tune into the UFC YouTube feed. So I had a little bit of a look at that and I thought, what? Did that just happen?
Yeah.
And yeah, just even now, the dust hasn't fully settled on it because we're only a few days removed from it. But my overall thought is, firstly, disappointment for Jon. Mm-hmm. Disappointment for the UFC fan base because I genuinely thought that we were going to get that fight. And I think,
did too.
I think that fight kind of defines a lot of things. It defines this era. It defines maybe the start of a new era. It defines the end of an old era. I just think it's just so sad that this is how that ends and that scenario doesn't take place.
It is really, really heartbreaking. And I know that you're close with Tom. Mm-hmm. And my initial reaction, similar to yours, was just like, what? Like, just this complete letdown. I have been a Jones defender my entire career. I am a big believer that if you're talking about the sport, if you're asking me, it's always the GOAT question, right?
Yeah.
If you're asking me who's the GOAT, it is 100% Jon Jones, regardless of the infidelities, all that they are.
Yeah.
For me.
And I think you're right. I think, listen, when you think of what is the GOAT, I think, obviously, about Muhammad Ali. And was Muhammad Ali the greatest boxer ever? The answer is no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
There's been guys before him and after him that were better boxers. Don't get me wrong, he achieved some sensational things than Muhammad Ali. I don't want to belittle that. But it was the whole thing. What he did,
who he was as a person,
what he transcended, the way that he just operated as a human being. So therefore, when I think greatest of all time, that whole package does come in. So I can understand people using that same argument when they talk about Jon.
I get it. I guess I try to separate church and state, so to speak. Like, this is a weird example for you as a Brit, but when people ask the question, like, was Bill Clinton a good president? He's the only president in maybe history, but I mean certainly modern. Like the last
politics
100
on the show?
We are now very lightly.
I like it.
To balance our budget.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
And yes, he put a cigar in a 22-year-old in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Which one is who he is, right?
Yeah.
And so I still say he's a good president because of what he did as a president. Would I want to hang out with him? No, not really. And that's how I feel about Jon Jones. And I know the PEDs kind of obviously they inform what he did in the sport as well. And DC is going to firmly stand on the other side of this argument, but I think it was Rashad Evans that came out this week talking about it. Like, that era is just, it's really hard to say that no one else was doing that during the peak of his era. It doesn't make an excuse. I don't know. I just, going back to the original question, the feeling I had was like being in a toxic relationship, which thankfully I haven't had many of those in my life. But it's like you fall in love with someone's potential, what they could be, what you know that they're capable of. You see their greatness, and at every fucking turn, they're out cheating on you or letting it. that part to me is the most heartbreaking because I still want to believe that Jon's a good human being also. It's really hard to make that argument. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I don't know him well enough personally to...
I don't either.
To talk about him. Obviously, we can judge him on the PD failures, the recreational drug failures, the arrests. Or you could bring that into the argument. But you're right, when you're talking about level of achievement inside the walls of the cage...
15 consecutive title wins.
It's just mad.
15 consecutive title wins. And the only reason that they weren't all defenses is because of the stripping and all the things.
Yeah.
But 15 consecutive title wins, I don't think will ever happen again.
No, you're 100% right with that. I don't think there's a debate for... Maybe there is a debate, actually, now that I'm thinking of maybe some of the older guys. But when I'm talking about light heavyweights, the run that Jon went on when he became champion in 2011, up to, 2016, 2017, I'll probably use the first DC fight, because I know that's the legit one. Right? Up to that point, go and find me a better run of fights, better run of victories.
You can't.
Anywhere in this sport.
You cannot.
You just can't do it. And yes, we could poke holes in it, maybe because people were of a certain age or they were on a certain run at the time. But listen, you beat what's in front of you. We're talking cover stars. We're talking rock stars of the sport, the Rampages, the Rashards. All these types of guys were guys that were selling magazines, selling pay-per-views. And Jon, as a 23-year-old guy, rocked in and beat them all at their own game.
Devastatingly.
He was absolutely fantastic. My questioning of GOAT-like status has been over the last 3-4 years, really.
Yeah.
I think the step up to heavyweight has been incredibly disappointing. First and foremost, when people step up in weight...
I agree with that, by the way.
When people step up in weight, I love it, like when Volk just jumps and does it, or when Conor jumps and did it. Amanda floats between them both, all those types of things. Jon went away for 3 years to prepare for heavyweight. That didn't sit right with me.
I know.
Especially when Francis was still here, and I was like, come on, man, that's the fights, make the fights. And then the minute Francis goes away, Jon's now available. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then we have this period of time. Don't get me wrong, he gets injured. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we have this period of time where we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. The Stipe fight gets older and older and older. And then that happens. And I thought, okay, I'll forgive that. It's done. We've got an interim champion now. Let's rock and roll. If Jon, in the immediate aftermath of the Stipe fight, goes, guys, thanks for the cheddar, man.
Yeah.
I'm slowing down. I'm getting a bit older. Thank you very much. The new generation's here. Enjoy them. See you in a bit. I think every single fan would have gone, Jon.
Greatest of all time.
Sound, man.
Yeah.
You've done it. But it's just been this pissing about for the last 9, 10, 11 months, whatever it has been, that I think has really diluted people's opinion of him, which is a shame. I think time will heal that. As it gets a little bit older and things happen, I think time will heal it. But right now, I look at it and go, well, no, that heavyweight run wasn't. It was nowhere near what DC did at heavyweight.
Yeah.
And we've got to be honest about that.
Yes.
So I think the last Indian summer, if we call it that, of his career has definitely diluted what he did.
Deeply disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, the last couple of years of his light heavyweight was also not the Jon that, that fought Alexander Gustafsson. I mean, it was, the Reyes fight felt obviously very close. Yeah. The Anthony Smith fight was a little lackluster. So it's like the last, I don't know when that period begins, but it's been quite a while that we've been yearning to see his greatness, and he just won't give it to us. And I think that feeling of like, we know how good you are, how good you were, how good you could be, and he just won't live up to it. That like, it's that, I don't know, cognitive dissonance, I guess, that makes people so frustrated.
I also feel for him a little bit, because listening to his interviews, he seems to have this thing in his head that his legacy is defined because nobody's beaten him legitimately, apart from the DQ. And I don't think that is. Greatness for me is the guys that take on the best challenges.
I agree.
Win, lose or draw, they give it their all. And I would have just loved to have seen him have a go at Tom. He didn't have to beat Tom for me to remain as whatever he is. Have a go. If Tom beats you, cool. It doesn't change the status.
I completely agree with you.
Tom doesn't take your status off you.
No.
But now it feels like, because he's not fought him, he's kind of diminished it himself by not showing me the attitude that I expect from the great guy.
It could have been a beautiful passing of the torch.
Yeah, man.
Even a loss, even in a God forbid knockout for Jon Jones. I think that Jon could not live with the idea of like that highlight being played over and over if it happened that way. You know what I mean? And
that's a shame.
It is.
It's a shame that he's put so much energy into that thing.
I will be interested to see how much time can caress away the rough edges of what we're feeling right now, because whether it's what we just talked about, feeling frustrated about the way that he left. I mean, honestly, I'm frustrated about how it was handled, to be honest with you. I wish that they could have been like, okay, Jon, just shut up, don't tweet about it. Let's have you and Tom come to International Fight Week and we'll do like a thing. I don't know. I wanted there to be a thing. I wanted them to hand him the belt and make it feel ceremonial.
Yeah.
And it just was so unceremonial.
Yeah. This conversation of GOAT-like status kind of leads me on to something else that I want to throw your way, right?
Okay.
Because most people watching this will probably side with the argument that Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. I think it's a conversation. I think there's other people in that conversation. George St. Pierre, for example, is absolutely in that conversation. And one person that doesn't get in that conversation is Amanda.
Yeah.
Right? And she should.
Yep.
I don't like the fact that people go, yeah, but she's the greatest woman of all time. And this isn't a woke statement. The reason why I'm saying this is because the UFC is the only sporting place on the planet that genuinely has parity. The ladies fight the same length of time.
Yep.
Whether it be championship fight, non-championship fight. When it comes to money, there's parity there as well. Ronda at one point was the highest paid athlete in this organisation. So I think the achievements of the Amanda Nunes and the Ronda Rouseys and people like that, they should be all thrown in the same pot. So I personally think that Amanda's in that conversation for greatest of all time because of all the things that she's achieved, which then brings me on to this.
Okay.
Look at this lady's attitude of retiring,
And coming.
letting the division crack on.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back for the toughest challenge
with
a great narrative. With the history of female fights that we've had in the UFC, where does Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison stand in signature moments?
It's up there. It's the ones that are also coming to mind are Amanda Cyborg, Holly Ronda.
Yeah.
You know, you're in rarefied air when you start talking about that type of fight, and that is exactly what we're talking about when you talk about the Kayla Harrison fight. I don't, comparatively, I don't know what they do in terms of pay-per-view draw. I think it would be big. I don't know that you can compare it to an Ilya type of card. However, the women's divisions, all of them collectively need stars as much as the UFC as a whole right now needs stars. And Amanda coming back injects, to me at least, a couple of years of some really interesting things that could happen. And that fight, the history between them, it's going to be respectful. I don't think that they're going to get, shitty toward each other. But Kayla came to Florida to train with Amanda. That's why she went there. And now she has Amanda's belt. Here's my idea.
Oh, go on.
I think they should do that fight at 145.
Initially?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think that you could argue that Kayla is an even bigger threat at 145. And if the idea is that Amanda is coming back for the toughest challenge is Kayla Harrison at 145 pounds.
You just want violence, don't you?
I do want violence. And no matter what, listen, I realize that there's not really a division there, but
who cares?
Who cares?
You don't need a belt.
You don't need it. Doesn't,
BMF.
It's essentially the women's BMF, right?
Okay.
So do it at 145. Say Amanda wins, that she gets her belt back. Then Amanda can go down to 135 and get that belt and become a 2-division champion all over again. And whoever has done that? No one.
That's an unbelievable sell. Are you on some inside information there?
I'm not.
Because that is awesome.
Yeah.
It makes an awful lot of sense. You're right. I mean, I was initially thinking, listen, it's a tough cut. We know that it's tough. I mean, with all due respect to Kayla, yes, she looks great on fight night, but the day before, last time out, I thought, oof, that looks like it's been a rough one down to 135.
Having seen her fight live, I called her fight in Invicta when she fought at 145. Obviously, I've watched her fights in PFL at 155.
Yeah.
When she went down to 145, and it was a tough cut, very tough cut. And I remember her telling me at the time, Laura, I will never make 135. Like, I don't know how I would do that. And we all know what she puts herself through to do it. It's insane. It's literally something that no one else would do. Running or jogging or walking 6 miles every single day forever. On top of all the other things that she has to do in her life. But my point was, when she went down to 145 and was finally given the ability to elbow people in Invicta for the first time ever, it was a slaughter. Her opponent was not nearly the caliber, of course, of Amanda Nunes. I'm not saying that. But watching her be at a healthier weight, she was more powerful, she was more explosive, and she damn near killed that girl.
I'm going to rob that idea of 145.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely fantastic. Because, like you say, I think it helps Kayla. Not that she needs help.
Yeah.
But it helps that scenario. And whatever happens result-wise, there's an argument then for part 2. And you're right in what you're saying about super fights and all those types of things. There's an argument then to go, right, we're going to do this at 135.
Exactly. And I saw Amanda...
Mr. Bisping trying to get in on the show. What's he like? He doesn't even know that we're recording.
Bisping
anyway.
just walked off. I lost my train of thought now, but yeah, I just think that. What I was going to say was I saw Amanda. Would have been Miami, and all these cards are a blur for me.
Yeah, she was there. Yeah, she was there in Miami.
She is looking very stout, very healthy.
She's been working out.
Yes, I don't know that Amanda would necessarily hate the idea of 145.
Mr. Bisping.
Yes.
8-minute interview.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll get on with it.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. You know, we're having these GOAT discussions. Another one that comes to my mind in recent times is the Bantamweight GOAT discussion, which I feel like maybe was more solidified until last month. And Merab went out there and got it done again in much more devastating fashion against Sean O'Malley. Does that change any of the GOAT argument for you in that division?
Do you know something? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Pre the Sean second fight, I was one of those annoying people online that was pushing back against people making the argument that Merab's already the GOAT. Yeah. He's the man. I said, hang on a minute. Don't disrespect the true OGs.
That's me, Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz.
Come on. I mean, what Dom did was absolutely sensational. And let's not forget, he went away for a long period of time, had major surgeries, came back, won, and defended again.
Yes.
He was outrageously good.
Against two very difficult guys as well. He didn't come back and get a gimme. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I get very
please
excited.
interrupt me because people forget what Dom Cruz did because they'll look at maybe the 2 or 3 or 4 that he had after that run and they go, he slowed down. Yeah, of course he slowed down because his body's broken now.
Yeah.
But that period of time was great.
Also, I think some people, for whatever reason, discount, like they take the WEC out of it. It's different than coming from, say, Bellator.
Yes.
You can't transfer that championship.
The
But when you were
WEC
absorbed,
was the UFC.
It was the UFC. It was the
Same
only.
with Jose Aldo.
It was the
Same.
only place that you could be a bantamweight or featherweight champion.
Yeah.
So you have to count his WEC run, and when you add that, I mean, to me. So what's your counter argument?
No. But what I'm saying is I was always Dom. But the more arguments I listened to from respective voices, I just thought, yeah, you're actually making a really good argument for Merab because although it's not title defences,
the
run was sensational and he waited because his mate was the champion. He would have got here earlier. He would have maybe defended these belts, had defences earlier. He's and the way he's doing it as well is just truly mind-blowing. Yeah. Truly mind-blowing. So I'm not fully there yet with Merab. But I think, listen, that argument is I've no problem with people making the argument for him being the guy because I think there's validation in that conversation, absolutely. I want to ask you a question about the Contender Series, if that's all right.
Sure.
Because back in the UK, I love going around the gyms and speaking to the training partners of the guys that maybe we are a little bit more familiar with, and they then tell me, this one's coming to the UFC, or this one's going to be in the UFC in 5 years' time, or whatever it may be. And I know that you're up on that, especially through your connections with the Contender. So we're going to play a little game now, right?
Okay.
Let's maybe highlight 4 or 5 boys and girls from around the world that you think will be in the UFC within the next 12 to 24 months.
Okay.
All right? I'll throw some in from the UK.
Okay.
You'll know them probably.
Yeah.
Because you're right across these things. But if you don't, it's nice for the people at home just to keep an eye out for those in the future. So what have you seen from the gyms that you've been in and the contender series that you've been doing?
I'm going to cheat a little bit.
Okay, you're training with somebody, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to steal from another organization.
That's fine. Because I'll probably do the same thing at some point.
Because there's one name that I am dying to see in the UFC, and that's Dakota Ditcheva.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Talk about the women's
Can you imagine her?
division needing a superstar, and talk about a perfectly packaged, talented, gorgeous, eloquent, respectful, good, like literally checks every single box, and she's right there. And she is a flyweight. And can you imagine the matchups that she could have in the flyweight division?
Her and Valentina? Come on, man.
I mean,
Deal me in.
it's almost like you would like, we don't want to get there too soon, you know what I mean? Like,
No, straight in.
Yeah. But I think that, especially after that last win against Taila Santos, because there are,
Yep.
listen, we've seen it many, many times. People come over thinking it's going to be all the, like, I'm going to transfer how good I was doing over there, and it's going to be the exact same thing over here. We just saw it with Patchy Mix. It did not translate,
Yeah.
at least in that fight. But against Taila Santos,
Yeah.
that's an easy comparison. Taila Santos fought for the belt. She gave Valentina a very difficult fight, and look what Dakota. I mean, we're doing MMA math now, but just a little bit.
But she's got everything that you want from your MMA star. You package. She's a violent Cinderella. Bring
Yes.
her to the UFC
Yeah.
as soon as you possibly can. I think you're absolutely right. She was on my list. Thanks for nicking it.
Sorry.
Yes, but she is that good, and fingers crossed we do get to see her at some point. We've just signed one guy that was on my list, so I'm going to have to scratch him off. Shamrock's going to be brilliant, right?
Oh.
He was fighting in Octagon, which is a European organisation.
They're amazing.
He's now just signed for the UFC, so the Shem Show, who's a training partner of Paddy Pimblett, will be coming over to the UFC, so that's exciting times. I know that you're aware of Luke Riley, who's also been in that gym. And fingers crossed he'll get his call in the not too distant future. There's a lot of good talent coming out of the UK there, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you, mate.
Oh boy.
This is who I want to see in the UFC in the next 12 to 24 months. He's been here before. Francis Ngannou.
Oh yes.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Francis,
Bring him back.
Tom, come on, man.
How can we make this work, Adam?
And then maybe that might entice John to come back in 12 to 24 months' time. Who knows, man?
I feel like Dana shut it down pretty hard, but left.
He's a businessman.
But
If it makes sense, let's do it.
But I also feel like he left just because the way he worded it, he was like, I would be really surprised if that worked out on any level. It was pretty like, meh. But he's been, he said Amanda Nunes would never, main event another fight card once. He said that women would never fight in the UFC. And I don't mean to point out all of Dana's flaws, but, he takes a hard line. And if you give him a good business argument why he should change his mind, the man is capable of change, and we love that about him.
Absolutely. Listen, Dana loves records. If he wants to smash a new gate or he wants some pay-per-view record or something like that, the heavyweight championship of the world against a man that never lost it inside the octagon, against the new guy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. That's amazing.
That's a stadium show, which I know he hates stadium shows too, so you'd have to...
But it's a record breaker.
It's a record breaker, and it's also... It just injects so much life into, imagine, I don't know anything about our media rights deal. I know nothing about it. But I know that we're doing some business with Netflix on the boxing side of things. Yeah. Can you imagine a heavyweight, main evented stadium show on Netflix, UFC? We're back! We're back! Not that we ever win anywhere, but
Sign me up. What is your mad shout for a UFC champion? And it can't be anybody that everybody else speaks about.
So like a wild card?
Just a pure wild card out of nowhere. It's like, I want people to be tuning into this going, where the hell did that come from?
Grant Dawson.
Go on, explain.
Okay. So Grant Dawson has been in the UFC, I don't know how many years now, but I would say 5, 6, 7 maybe. 13 UFC fights. He lost 1 of them. Granted, it was in devastating fashion, but you know who else lost a fight in pretty devastating fashion? Islam Makhachev fought and lost, got knocked out. We all forgave him for it. They actually have very similar styles. Grant Dawson is one of the most dominant grapplers that you will ever see in this division. I think he's ranked number 13 right now. He hasn't had the matchups yet to really have people go, oh wow, he's been getting through and running through and dominating kind of the just outside the top 15 type of guys.
I like that.
And now we're going to start to see some familiar names now. I think a fight with him and Michael Chandler would be good. I think a fight with him and BSD would be good.
Yeah.
And those are names that people can go, oh, Grant Dawson beat whoever.
Okay.
He's very good.
I want your thoughts on this, right? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and people will shout me down for this because of the potential title fight that could be happening in this particular division.
Okay.
So I'm going to admit that is actually happening, all right? I'm going to welterweight. I'm going to pretend that Islam Makhachev is not coming to the division.
I'm going to take myself out of reality.
Yes. Because if he does come, that's great.
Yeah.
He might go back to 155. He might.
Fair enough.
He might,
Fair
okay?
enough.
My shout's going to be Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland, wow.
See? That's what I
Okay.
wanted. That's the reaction that I wanted.
Okay.
The reason why I said this is
love
because he, at welterweight, super focused, dedicated to that division.
Yes.
And not taking last minute fights, having proper camps.
Okay.
Training for that particular individual.
Yeah.
His last 2 in particular have been absolutely beautiful to
Yeah.
watch. Beautiful to watch. And I think that Kevin Holland is on the cusp of maybe fighting a number 5, 6, 7 ranked guy.
Yeah.
I think he can, looking at that division, I think he can win those fights. I think he can get into the top 5. And who wouldn't love to see Big Mouth in a title fight, man? I think it'd be brilliant. I think it'd be a great matchup for Jack Della Maddalena. I think all the other guys that have been there, the Leons and the Bilals, I think he's a great matchup for those guys as well. So,
Shavkat.
yeah, I'm going home. Yeah, you're right.
No.
What's going on with your boy anyway? Is he
No.
still injured? Is he back? What's going on
Well,
with
I
him?
mean, we don't talk on the phone every day or ever. I don't know. It's really unfortunate because I think when you don't speak English and you don't have a big presence on social media, he's got a huge following, but not like in a way that's like entering into the zeitgeist in America, right? Mm-hmm. People forget about people so quickly. And it's sort of like he had this close fight with Ian Gary, and they're like,
which he won.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, you beat Ian Gary. Again, badly injured in that fight. Again, he's not going to talk about that. He's not a very like, oh yeah, I mean, he's not going to go into the details of what he had going on, but obviously he's had surgery, and I have no inside information, as close as we are.
But listen, but you're right on that man's ability. And people, listen, if they want, how can you play down a win against Ian Gary? Ian Gary's a fantastic fighter.
That win has continued to age better.
Look at what he did with
and better
Carlos
and better.
Prates. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. Ian Gary is another top contender.
He is.
Shavkat versus Islam in that division could be absolutely sensational.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what a healthy Shavkat actually looks like, because I remember when I interviewed him after the Stephen Thompson fight, he had a ankle injury that he was supposed to go get surgery for. And this is not things that he's like making excuses for on air. This is his coach pulling me aside afterwards, like, Laura, you have no idea, insider information type of stuff that he just isn't very public about. I don't know that we've ever seen him fight healthy, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I look forward to seeing him fight
do
healthy
too.
then. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm done. Seeing as that you've just shot down my Kevin Holland shout, because it's not happening. Maybe he'll have to go to 185 and pray. I don't know.
Well, do you have anybody, maybe not someone who's like that's maybe going to go, what?
Yeah.
But someone outside of the rankings. That
will be champion?
Yes, that will be champion.
Dakota Achiever.
Fair?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
there you
very
go.
fair.
We could have that. I think talent that I've seen coming through, I'm a big fan of Felipe Lima.
Yes.
I think...
He's got a big fight as of this taping against Peyton
Peyton
Talbot.
who I'm a massive fan of him as well. But I just think Felipe is a very, very special talent. I think he could come through. Is there anybody in the UK outside of those rankings? Listen, I was high on Jack Shaw for a long period of time, but obviously he's now retired and he's not going to get to those levels. And listen, I'm a big fan of Arnold Allen, but he's ranked, so I can't have that. Yeah, I'll go with Felipe Lima for someone that's in the UFC. Outside of the UFC, Dakota Dechiva will be a UFC champion at some point in her career.
Agree. For me, it's Mauricio Hufi.
Is he not ranked?
Can you believe he's not ranked? That that tells you about the lightweight division.
No,
right? Yeah,
he's got to be ranked.
He's not ranked. As of today,
You've won that conversation as well. You're winning everything today. That's a hell of a shout. What a fighter he is.
Undefeated. What he did to Bobby Green was ungodly. It was ungodly.
I love that wide karate stance that he has,
Yes.
and his timing and everything. He's absolutely brilliant. And you know full well that we've not seen his full jiu-jitsu game coming out of that gym yet. So
No. That gym continues to be absolutely on fire.
Yeah,
absolutely on fire.
What a fantastic main event for Noche, by the way.
Oh, I know.
With, speaking of that gym, Gene Silver getting his opportunity against Diego. I actually thought that we might get Yair and Diego, but
I thought so too.
But Jon's just captured everybody's imagination, hasn't he?
Yeah.
With the barks and what have you. I think that'll be a great main event in Mexico.
Yeah, he's a wild man, that guy. He's an absolute wild man. I mean, who else jumps up and does a Spider-Man right in front of the president? I was watching the fights and my husband was like, did he just show his ass to the, was that a political statement? I was like, no, this is just it's just his thing. Don't mind him. He probably should have chosen another side of the octagon to do it against.
It's a great fight. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker for sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate your thoughts. This is fun.
We should do this more often.
We should do this more often. Maybe next
year.
Well, maybe next time I can come over.
Well, now that we've got a heavyweight champion, maybe we might get more shows in the UK.
Can you
and there you go.
Imagine? I have been pitching a show where I grapple Tom Aspinall for a very long time now to the folks that run our channel. So
I'm sure that
talk
can be
about a
arranged.
super fight.
That's what the people want to see. That's pay-per-view.
Yep. So I think the next chunk of demos should be me and Tom. Let's make it happen.
There you go.
Adam, thank you so much.
Appreciate
it. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it locked in right here. Tons of other videos on this channel to watch. As always, click like, click subscribe. We appreciate you very much, and we will see you next time.